Well, hello again. Here we are for the new quarter moon. Notice that the moon is in square aspect to the sun, always what a quarter lunation is about. And the focus is on Sagittarius, which is warm. And notice also the focus here is on Pisces, which is the fourth house. Now, we know in weather, we always watch the fourth house energies ascend or descend, because this is the north, up into the fourth house or down through the fourth house, whichever way you want to look at this. It's always reversed for what we're looking at, over into the ascendant. And here we're seeing rather a mild circumstance, because these are mutable signs. This is warm mutable, this is wet mutable. So with this two combination trying to apply, I'm looking at a possibility that we're going to look at some weather that's going to be overcast, cloudy, great sunrises, great sunsets in the morning and evening. Also, we see the sun is a strong influence down here on the fourth house and squaring the first, and we also say Jupiter's strong influence across the first and also squaring the fourth house. So the circumstances is basically telling us that we're looking for a rather mild winter here on the west coast. Now, it'll cool off over in the Midwest and towards the east coast, and the hurricane season looks like it's rather mild, as all the weather at this position is kind of weak. So the weak systems are there. We'll have hurricanes, we'll have weather, but I don't think we're going to have the size or the degree of weather that we have had in the last couple of years. We'll have to wait till 2015 for that. The focus on a personal level, of course, is Sagittarius, and Sag right now is rising with Jupiter on that seventh house. This places you in control. I would think that if you're going to buy a car, this could be a good season to do it. You want to wait till around noon, 12:45 in the afternoon, because you want the sun towards the top, but you want that Sag rising so that Jupiter will sit right there on the seventh house, which means that when you are the negotiator, your ruling planet is in control of that house. And so, being that's the case, any deal you want to cut should be able to make a good deal today or during this week because of that. Just make sure that the sun remains here and that you have a nice strong aspect. I don't like the moon in its detriment here. It's against the place it normally rules, which is Cancer. It goes over here. This kind of cools and cools the relationship a little bit, but it also promises a little cooler weather here on the west coast, especially up in the northwest down to the central areas, and then towards the lower part we're going to see a little bit of cooling, but not much. This is just a sort of a cool approach. But Sag is a very problem-solving position right now, because it's in control of other people, so they can pretty well dominate whatever you want to do. So be careful, because sometimes what you put out there is going to bite you. The sun's just changing into the sign of Libra. It's fall, so here we are entering the fall autumnal season, and that's kind of nice. The Leos, of course, are looking for what they can pull out of that aspect knowledge-wise. So those of you who are just now starting or beginning a new course in college studies or curricula, this looks pretty promising, because you see this is a mutual reception with Venus, and so for Leos, this particular circumstance might prove to be rather nice. So the study series, make sure you work with it. Artists especially might do very well during this period, because of their art classes and everything else might fall just in place, get exactly what you're looking for. The rest of the signs, of course, fall in accordingly. The second house is still ruled by Capricorn, and that Saturn is still in exaltation. So Capricorns and Aquarians, you're in a pretty good place, probably a position where you can fulfill some hopes, wishes, desires, and things like that, by which you're seeking, especially through working with partnerships and trying to develop something nice in that department. That could work out for you. Just make sure you have the money that you can afford to take them out to a nice lunch and a nice evening, or a nice evening with a great dinner thereafter. I like the fact that Aries, ruled by Mars, is in a strong sign. I like the fact that Scorpio with Mars is in a strong sign. So the fire signs are probably overwhelmed with a lot of work they have to take care of, a lot of little things, a lot of stuff going through their lifestyles right now that is really bumping around. But this will ease up. But not until Mars goes into the Sagittarius, and that's still a few days away, probably around the middle of October. So we're looking for that. Saturn's going to go into Scorpio shortly, which could produce quite a few obstacles in our way. The Scorpios might be looking at things that just need to be taking it at a slower pace, because trying to get things done is sometimes requires a great deal of effort, time, patience when Saturn is involved with this, as many Libras have learned over the last couple of years. Anyway, this is basically it. I like Jupiter on the angle. It says something about what's going on. Also, football today, it might show that the home teams, for each of you who are betting on the home team, it looks like the home team might do well for you. Of course, there's always going to be a losing team, so you have to figure out which home is home. Oh my God. Anyway, there we have it. So those of us who favor our very favorite teams, look for a nice win along those lines. It'll be probably a strong win. Those who lose will lose big. It's going to be a game, so I have a feeling that the games will be very one-sided, and be interesting to see how that turns out, won't it? Anyway, this is it for the new quarter, and we're getting ready to see some moderate temperatures on the United States. All right, I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in.